In the last episode, you would have seen me put this shed base together. Looks great, super sturdy. Today we're going to be building our shed, and the shed that I went with is a metal shed from Patiowell. We've got an 8x12. These are things that are really easy to put together. I've got some gloves, I've got my drill out here. That's all I should really need to put this together. It's kind of like a flat pack furniture. Everything is labeled and numbered, and hopefully everything I need first is at the top. So we need a BE1, BE1, so we need something else also that. There's our BE1, and we need two more. Now I left this outside last night because, well, I thought I was going to get to it last night and I didn't, so I wasn't carrying it back. These are actually pre-drilled, so it looks like two screws go into each one, so we'll just do there. And everything appears to be labeled too, so makes it a little bit easier to work out where stuff's going. Something I do like, all these screws are labeled to make it really easy to figure out which screws you actually need. So we need F1 and F1 over there. There's no questions as to which screws you actually need. We've got the first problem here. It turns out the Patiowell shed actually isn't 8x12. It was about 89 inches wide, and I've made my shed base 96 inches wide. So I have to redo my shed base, or what I'm thinking is I just push it over to one side, or I can center it, but I think if I push it over to this side, close to the house, we could do a little bit of storage down the back of the shed for pots and things like that that are not being used for planting. So I think that's what I'm going to do. You see here the difference, about 3.5 inches on either side. And then from back to front, we have a little bit too. It's about this. It's a little bit shorter actually. Well, that's unfortunate, but I should have read the instructions first to see what size of base I actually needed. Don't take it for granted that an 8x12 is actually 8x12. So lesson learned there, but hey, base is built. Let's just make it work with what we've got. So the sun is starting to go down, but I'm going to try and put these sides on next. I might do the front first, and then I'll do the back separately around the corner, like this. And you put 4 screws in. So it comes with these little washers. You put on the screw before screwing them in. Screw in on this side. I might put 4 in there, but let's put the other side on so we can actually get these connected. This is a silly idea to do this on my own. Oh well. That's what it's going to like to get in the shed. I'm going to have to bend down. Hopefully it's a little bit taller when I'm inside. So doors aren't going to be very tall. But should be fine enough to get my lawnmower in here. Hopefully. If not, well, I'll have to just bend over to get inside. I really should have read the description before getting this shed, but oh well, it was cheap. I've got these little clips going here. Basically, not following the instructions, so put that in there. Next up, we're taking these number 9 extrusions, or 6, but I think it's 9. I'm going to put this plastic piece in here until it hits the bumper on the back. So when we install the other side, they'll fit together. This might be a little bit more challenging than I first thought. This is a question if this extrusion is meant to go here, but it looks like I screw through here and then I go into this little channel that's created there. Kind of neat way to do it so you don't have to pre-drill everything on the manufacturer's side. But threw me for a loop a little bit, but it should be able to just lift up. So I'm going to put some side panels on here, which I was meant to put on beforehand. Sometimes I don't like following instructions, you know. I think this would be a lot harder to put this on by itself first, but hey, we'll see if I made a mistake. And that's completely straightened out this bar already. See, it's like really straight now. So we can put one on up here. That'll make this side solid. So let me do that now. Whew, my fingers. I was just getting all these on here, very similar to the first one I put on. But then I realized there's a gap. You should always read the instructions because there's one of these narrower panels. It's meant to go in the middle. I don't think it really matters where it goes because it's just the same as the rest of these, just smaller. This might be it for tonight because it's getting cold. And don't know if you can tell, the light is starting to fade a little bit. So we will put these 4 screws in and make sure this is secure. We don't want it to blow away overnight. And we'll come back in the morning and finish this off. I think we'll call it for tonight. We've got this one side done. We do need to go and put all the screws in, but at least we got it held in position. This side's not done and the back's not done. But hey, it's starting to get dark. So let's pick this up tomorrow in the morning. It's a new day and I lied. I actually got the back of the shed on before I went inside last night. It started getting a little bit dark, but we have that done. Now we just need to do this side here. I do have a second pair of hands today, so hopefully this is going to fly. We'll get this side on here and then we'll get the roof on. And yeah, now we can put all our stuff in here so my wife can have her garage back. Getting these front pieces on that go next to the door. These are the last pieces of siding to go on, by looks things. We're also going to go around and put all the screws in, all the panels that we didn't put in last night and this morning. Make sure everything is secured. Put 2 screws in the front of each one. You see here, I've already put this screw in because it told me to put 4 screws in this panel. I just find that really inconvenient. Now I've got to remove the screws, put it back in. Something with these instructions that a lot of companies don't think about is how are people actually going to build them. I know in theory that's how that should go together and I'm following what I'm meant to do, but when you look ahead, you just should leave that screw off and the corresponding screw on the bottom and the same on the other side. That'll mean that you can just then put these screws in twice, just having to remove this and then put it back in. It's not a big deal, but it would just make it easier to install everything if you knew what was coming next, which you can because you can look at the instructions. I really like this design. These are all roll formed components and they just slot together. So you're going to take number 14 and you're going to slot it in. You'll see that the holes over here correspond with the slots here, so it means you can still secure what I imagine is going to be the roof onto this. So we'll push it in. Like that. And the holes still line up. When securing these together, just don't use those last 2 screw holes. Start here and then put them all together. It does say to make sure they're not too tight, so we'll put them all in and then we'll tighten them up a little bit, but not over tighten them. This is really like a giant Meccano set, maybe K-Nex, something like that. Really easy to go together. A little bit time consuming with all these bolts and screws. They're really fiddly, but you know what? It's really like kind of rewarding to build this. Almost like building your own shed, but you know what? Much cheaper, honestly much easier. And lugging all the wood back out here to build the shed and then getting the plywood for the roof be way more expensive than what I've got into the shed already. And it will take a lot longer. So let's get this first beam put together and we'll get the other two as well. Really like how this snaps together. And the shed is starting to look really good. We do need to see it's kind of get blown in a little bit by the wind there, that's fine. Once we get everything together, it'll stretch it back out. And we can peel the film off because there is a protective film on here. All the screws are around the top now. There you go, look at that. Go, 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 yeah! Woohoo! So this film is just too thin. It's protecting the metal. It doesn't really protect it when it's getting roll formed. I'm going to leave the film on because you can't really tell that there's film on it. And honestly, peeling this off is just, I'm going to go insane because this is ridiculous. I'm going to reach out to the company and say that this is a terrible film that they put on here. It's too thin. I work with different types of film, and yeah, that's not how the film's meant to come off. So I'm going to leave that, but if you're doing this and you want to peel it off, you must have more patience than I have, because I don't have the patience for that. I was just going to start putting all the roof panels on in whatever order I felt, but it turns out there is a reason that you follow the guidelines, because this little hole here, that's where the ridge cap gets secured on, and there's another couple of panels like this along here, so that's going to be really important as to where that is, because that means there's a hole on the ridge cap that lines up with this. So don't just put the roofing on how you think it should go, just follow the instructions. Really easy to follow which panel goes where. This is starting to look really good, apart from the film that I started to pull off, but hey, that might come off eventually. It's starting to look really good. Be much easier if I had a second pair of hands. Unfortunately, my wife had to go and get our seeds for our garden so we can start growing some vegetables this year, but we don't have a garden yet, so I guess I need to build that too. So let's get the shed finished, we'll get the roof done. It's looking good. We've got half the roof on the shed, and you've probably seen me working with this DIY with Cam sweater. This thing's really comfortable, really soft, and even better, it's warm. On these spring days where you're not too sure what the weather's going to be like, this thing is keeping you nice and toasty. So if you want to support the channel, help me bring more builds to the channel, consider purchasing one of these. Silly, you can't even secure that. Why would they tell me to put that on? See, that's what I mean. These instructions sometimes, that's stupid. Enough. Yeah, I like that. And the roof is completely installed. It was easy, but it did take me about 2.5 hours to complete. Now we're just going to get this ridge cap on it, figure out how to get up to the middle of the roof from this back side. I think I'll climb up on the ladder and then just lean over. I hope that works. We do have to put this side on as well, so I'll fix this bit first and then we will come back and this area over here. There we have it, all the fascia is on. I did make a mistake and put these on too early, but easy enough to pop off. These hold everything together, it looks really good. Second pair of hands are back and we're getting the doors done. We've got some seeds, not too sure what we're going to be growing, Kev. Some watermelon, some zucchini, some
trombone squash.
Don't know, trombone squash?
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes.
Huckleberries.
Huckleberries? Don't know what huckleberry is, but we'll find out. But the only problem is now, we don't have any garden beds, so I guess we need to build some vegetable garden beds again. So we'll have to get that done before it gets too warm. I think
A little less concerned.
Alright, headroom, not the best when you want to go to the side here, but it's just for storing things. So we'll make that work. We'll get some storage in the side there. Storage sheds together, it looks great. Really happy with how well this turned out, and on the budget we had, I think it was fantastic. It's all watertight now, so we can get all of the yard equipment in there and start working on the yard so that we can get this nice and clean for the spring summer season. Thank you very much for watching. If you do want to see another DIY video like this around the home, make sure you check out this video here.